Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Designs by Dana. I am Dana and I'm also a close to my heart maker. Now this video is a coast to coast CTMH collaboration video. We have several makers participating this month, and please be sure to look at my list below and go watch the other ladies' videos as well. I am a little late posting this month, so I do apologize for that. So please make sure you do check out the other videos in this collaboration. I'm going to go switch over now and let you review the video that was drawn last month, just to refresh you on what the prompts are, and then we'll come back and get started. Hey crafty friends, this is Dana, and I'm going to be doing the March card draw from the Stacy Story by Stacy Story Deck, and I've got everything out here, and this is for the Coast to Coast CTMH collaboration March challenge. So let's get started. I've got ready, set, go, and we'll do a bonus challenge. We'll start with the ready and work our way down to the bonus challenge. So I'm going to separate the cards here, and let's see, we'll just pull from the middle here. And the first one we have is blessings, and that talks about serendipity, miracles, karma, gratitude, counting your blessings and paying it forward. Our set card, let's see what we can come up with here. I'm going to pull kind of from the back. Map. So an infographic, a brochure, trails, menu, destination, historical, or something with your state or country perhaps. For our go card, separate these out and let's pick here. One big photo, an all-time favorite, a self-portrait, heritage, school portrait, full page, nature background, or perhaps a family photo. Now keep in mind, these are simply suggestions. They're not anything that you have to stick to. Now for our bonus card, let's just go right here in the middle, and we're going to do super simple. Now we just did super simple in February, so I am going to put that back in the deck, and let's pull something else just to kind of keep it fun and doing something a little bit different each month. Not that we can't duplicate, but I hate to have to do something, you know, too many months back to back. So ink or paint. So here we've got splatter, brushed, smushing, spritz, painted, stamped. So those are some ideas for you for your jumping off point. Remember, we like to use the hashtag. So for March, we'll be using hashtag or pound sign C2C MAR for March, and then 23. So again, that's C2C MAR 23. So please share your work with us. We'd love to see what you can create with these Jumpstart cards, and we will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye everybody. Okay, before we get started, let me bring in my photos and show you what I'm working with for this page. One of my challenge cards was a large photo. So I have this 4x6 photo of my husband and I on the Battleship Missouri Memorial in Pearl Harbor. So that will satisfy that particular card. And then I have a brochure with a graphic inside and some of the tickets for the memorial. So I'm going to bring in my base page here, and I want to add some ink or paint. So my way of doing that for this page is to use the shimmer brush, and I'm going to just do some splattering with the red shimmer brush. So this is going to be my base page, and then I'm going to mat my main photo with Scarlet Cardstock, and I'm going to turn that into a pocket to put my souvenir memorabilia for the brochure of the Battleship Missouri Memorial. These pieces on the side I'm going to tear to give them a little bit more rustic look. And if you've not used Close to My Heart paper before, you'll notice that our paper has the white core. So you want to make sure that you tear in the same direction every time. So I always tell people to tear towards yourself so that you get that consistent white core. For this top piece, I chose kind of a tan color. It looks like a burlap type of a tan, and I picked that because I think it matches well with the wood grain in the photo on the chip. So I thought that tied in really well with the red and the blue and of course the white stripe. So I'm going to layer these on each side of the layout page. And this is basically what the layout is going to look like as far as design goes. But I'm going to bring in some embellishments. And my embellishments are going to be pretty simple as well. And I'm going to use some old chipboard stars that I have in my stash. And these are really old. And I thought it would be a good chance to use them up. So it kind of reminds me of the stars and the stripes. So stars for the embellishments and stripes for the paper. And I'm just going to kind of lay those out where I think I'm going to use them. And then I want to show you how I'm decorating them. So I have one that's decorated already. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So I just traced it on the back side of the paper that I'm using with a pencil. And then I'm cutting that out with my scissors. Now there are other ways that you can do this. You can obviously glue it down first and then get your X-Acto knife out, or just lots of different ways to skin the cat. But this is the way that I have found to be the easiest for me. So if you have another tip on how to do this in a better method, certainly share that in the comments. But like I said, this works best for me. So I just kind of line this up again just to make sure I have it in the right direction. And then I'm going to glue it down with my favorite Bearly Art glue. Once I get that glued down, I'm going to set it aside just for a minute to dry. And then I'm going to move on to working on some of the other stars. My vision here is that some of them are going to be covered in paper and some of them are going to be inked with marker. So for some of these, I'm going to go ahead and use that stripe paper that's used in the background base page. And so I'm just going to trace that, but then I can finish it off camera. So I'll continue to move on. So for these stars, I want to do some red. And I'm using the dark red blend marker, and I'm using the mid-tone color. So I'm just going to color these in. Now these chipboard pieces are pretty porous, so the ink is soaking in pretty well. So I'm going to color them in once and then give it a second coat just to kind of smooth everything out with my lines. I'm going to do a couple in the red, and then I'm also going to add another pop of color with a few more. So I have some variety, lots of variety actually, with the stars that I'm putting down on this page. So the last color of stars I'm going to use is the True Blue blend. And again, I'm going to use the medium mid-tone for those as well. And when I do the medium tone on the True Blue, it's going to give me a great match with that sky and the shirt and a little bit of the blue down in the ticket. So that's going to kind of pull all of that together as well and give me a little extra pop of another color just to pull in. So I'm going to get those done and then kind of just show you how I envision laying all of those out. And then we'll start getting everything glued down. Now this big star that I started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my my mind's drawing a blank, but it's fingernail file, but it's much more coarse, and I'm filing that down because when I do that, it makes it feel like the paper and the element are really all one piece together. And then you see that I'm bringing in my toffee ink and I'm inking the edges. Now I like the inked look because it's making it feel a little bit vintage which I think ties into that theme of Pearl Harbor and the time frame of when everything happened at Pearl Harbor. So I'm kind of liking how this is looking a little bit vintage-ish, if that's a word. So I decided that I want to go ahead and also ink the side panels of that tan burlapped paper as well. Now when I ink things like this, I want it to look a little subtle and not real sharp. So I like to ink with a sponge. And you can see it does take a little bit longer, but I think that the look of the sponge inking is well worth it. There are so many ways to ink your edges, but this is definitely my favorite, and it gives it a nice, soft, subtle look, especially when working with vintage type of projects. So it's just going to take me just another quick second to finish inking that up, and everything will really be done for the design element of the layout. Then it will be time to think about adhering everything down. Just going to finish inking that up, and we'll be ready to glue everything down. Oh, and one more, I forgot to mention that little tip, fun fact, if you didn't already know this, is that you can also ink your markered pieces. So you may not have known that in the past. So I'm going to also ink my little stars as well. And this is just to coincide with everything else on the layout. And you may not have known that you can ink over the marker as well. So that will just tie in all of my stars together and make everything cohesive. So now we can start gluing everything down. Now normally I glue everything off camera, but I wanted to show you how I'm assembling this since I'm doing a pocket piece. So I'm putting my tickets down here at the bottom, and I know that I want the top ticket to be popped up. So the first thing I'm going to do is put that bottom one down, and then I'm going to pop up my pocket photo. And when you do this, make sure that you're only putting your foam tape on 3 sides and you're leaving the top part open. Now, you can ask me how I know that, but I will never tell, and I'm sure you can figure it out. So I'm using the thick foam tape for this, just because I want to make sure I have plenty of room to put my souvenirs and whatnots behind there and get good dimension on this layout, because I'm not going to have a lot of other things popped up, and you know that I certainly like to have dimension on my layouts. So that's helped me line everything up and know that I've got enough space there at the top. And then I can pop up my top ticket down here so it can overlap my photo just a little bit. Now you might be wondering about my pocket element here, and since it's towards the top of my page, I don't plan to cut any slits in my page protector at all, because I think it's going to be just as easy to stick your hand right in the page protector and pull that little brochure out. So that is my plan at this point. If it were lower in the page, I might consider putting a slit in the page protector as to be able to easily access those souvenir pieces. But in this case, I don't find that it will be necessary. So I'm coming back to my stars, and I'm fidgeting around with trying to remember how I had them placed originally, and just trying to make sure that everything's positioned, excuse me, how I want them positioned, and then we'll bring back in the glue and start gluing those down. And once we get those glued down, I think that's really all we have left to do to wrap up this page. It's nice and simple, and I'm really happy with how it turns out, and I think it tends to lend itself to matching the photo and the events of the day the photo was taken, but also the event of Pearl Harbor and showing the respect of that particular event. So
finishing up the gluing down, and I could have also used glue dots for these, but since my glue was handy, I think it's just as easy to use the glue and pop these down real quick. So you guys will have to let me know if you use these dimensional elements or not, if you've ever had them. I've had them around forever, and I've kind of forgotten about them, and have recently pulled them back out. So they're a lot of fun, and they can be decorated in lots of different ways. So this is pretty much the layout, guys, and if you have questions, please let me know, and I hope you've enjoyed the video.
Okay, my layout is complete. As a recap, I want to go back through my challenges here, starting out with the blessings card. I think I met that challenge with my photo here. Although Pearl Harbor was a horrible day in our history, I think that we are thankful and have gratitude towards the freedom that we have as a result of some of the tragic events in our country's history. So while many women and men did die that day, I am very thankful for what we fought for and the freedoms that we have today. So that is my gratitude and blessings. As far as the map goes, I used my brochure here, and it also has the infographic on the inside of the brochure. So met that challenge as well. And I think that my little tickets here also kind of lend towards that as well, as far as the destination and the historical site. And then one big photo, I met that. This is approximately a 6x8 photo. And as far as ink or paint, I didn't do a lot with that, but I did splatter the background with the shimmer brush. So I think that I successfully met all of the challenges in the Story by Stacy deck. Now, let's take a closer look at the layout itself. And I'm really happy with my stars and how they turned out. So some of them are covered in paper, and then some of them I just inked with marker. And you can see that I was able to ink the edges on all of them, whether they were done with paper or marker. And I like how they turned out. I like how the layout is clean, yet a little bit distressed. So it makes it appropriate for the time. And I like the simplicity of the layout because I feel like it gives respect to this event and the whole Pearl Harbor theme and feeling. So I wanted to keep it very simple and clean and respectful. So I'm happy with that. I really like the interactive pocket here, and I wanted to show you that I have some other pictures from this same day and the battleship Missouri. So this is on the outside of the Missouri, and then this is another one from the Missouri, and then we have some more little ticket souvenir things here. So I may make a companion page to this, but if I decide not to, I can just stick all of these down into this little pocket that I've created and have a little spot for those souvenir pieces. So I think that this page turned out great. Now, if you liked my video today, please be sure to hit that like and potentially share my video as well. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you do that also. And make sure that you listen to or watch all of the other makers collaboration videos for this month. And again, I apologize for being a little late. And if you stay tuned, I'll go ahead and go to the video of the card draw for April. And any of our months that you'd like to participate, just use the hashtag, hashtag C2CMAR 2023. And I'm sorry, I think that's just C2CMAR23 for 2023. And we'd love to see what you create. So please do that. And if you want to post on any social media or my Facebook page, I'd love to see what you've done with that and how you can interpret these cards as well. So stay tuned. I'm going to move it to the draw for next month, and I hope you come back and participate and watch our future series as well. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.
Hello crafty friends, Amanda here, and I'm going to do the draw for our April challenges for the Coast to Coast collaboration. These are the Story by Stacy Deck, and there's an explanation about how these work. What we do is we just randomly pick one card from each of these. So our ready is value and beliefs. Our set, ooh, bullet points. Well, that could be interesting. Our go, pocket cards. And then our bonus card, super simple. So you can join us in creating a layout that incorporates these. You can do all or none of them. Just be sure to include the hashtag C2C April 23.